All right, everyone. So I thought I'd jump on today. Excuse me. Thought I'd jump on today and actually do. I'm documenting a little bit of work that I think you'll be interested in if you've ever thought about bringing on a sales team. So let me clear my throat. But before we do that, we'll jump right into it. I have two things, what I'm calling the secret sauce, that people are not talking about, and honestly, I don't know why, because I think it has become two of the things that really separate what we're doing with SalesMAP. I'm going to share that with you in a moment, right after this.
Time for Book of Experts TV.
Topics you love.
Experts you trust.
Friction-free referrals.
Tried,
tested,
Trusted.
This is Book of Experts, brought to you by SalesMAP.me.
All right, sorry about that. They kind of caught me by surprise when I jumped on and I had a frog in my throat. But anyways, so this is a little bit of an impromptu live. Usually we're doing guests, and today it's just me, but I was working on something behind the scenes. One, a project for clients. Two, doing some writing on the upcoming book that I have coming out called Experts Never Chase. And both of these points play into this bigger conversation of expert-based businesses, how they get sales, how they bring on sales support, and some trends that I'm seeing in the space that I think are worth us talking about. Specifically, I'm going to share two things. I'm calling them secret sauces because if other folks are talking about this, I'm not seeing it out there right now. Listen, there's a lot of good information. I don't think any idea is fully original, but the importance of these two things, the two secret sauces, again, I'm going to just call them that for lack of a better term, for what we're doing in SalesMAP has become, I mean, this is a main part of our conversation with our clients, what we talk about internally, what we do with our teams. I'm going to share them in a moment. Because I want to go a little bit deeper. I just wanted to share a little bit of background. But before we go there are a couple of things that I want to clarify, because so SalesMAP, our primary thing is we're going to build sales teams for and with our expert-based businesses. So who are we talking about? We're talking about coaches, consultants, authors, agency owners, thought leaders, and influencers. If folks are a thought leader in their industry, and they're building their business around that thought leadership and their personal brand, that's a great conversation for us to have with someone, particularly if they are the bottleneck in their business. So when I say bottleneck, it means the business is only going to grow so much because on one hand, they're out selling, they're the rainmaker in their business themselves. And then on the other side, they have to deliver, right? They are the thought leader in their business, so everyone wants a piece of them. So they go back and forth, and they feel like they get stretched thin trying to sell and generate business and make business happen. And then two, having to deliver on those promises. And if that's you, or if maybe you know entrepreneurs like this, it can feel a little bit like you're in a rat race, like you just can't run fast enough to get everything done. That is who we work with at SalesMAP. Like those are our people, right? Because they've reached a certain point of success in their business. They just can't continue to grow. They can't do it themselves. Beyond that, then, they are the bottleneck. So the conversation then switches to, how do I bring on sales support? How do I actually bring on someone that's going to help me grow and can make sure that sales and marketing is always the focus, at least for one person. We never recommend that someone completely remove themselves from their sales and marketing. It's too important. It is the lifeblood of your business, because when that stops, the income stops and everything else. It creates all kinds of problems through the business. So my partners are always going to be, and our clients are always going to be involved in the sales and marketing of the business to some extent. But you also have to be able to step away from it at times and know that it's going to keep running for you. So that's why we do what we do at SalesMAP. The conversation today, again, this is a document your work. I was doing this work anyways. I thought some of you might be really interested in seeing a little bit more of what I'm going to share with you in a moment. But there are a couple sort of pre-qualifying points that I want to bring up. So first of all, when we're talking with folks about building their sales teams, I want to emphasize building their sales teams, not building our sales team. We're not a lead generation company. We're actually helping our clients build their own, bring on their own people, make sure that they're going to have the structures and everything in place to support them. And it's going to be a great experience for themselves and their sales development person, their sales partner. There are a couple things that have to be in place first. So number one, we're working with experts, right? So if what you do is a commodity, that's probably not who we're focused on. No offense against that, but if you're an e-commerce store, if you're a real estate agent, those are great businesses to be in. It's not what we do, right? If you're selling $99 widgets and price is the big differentiator, it's just not what we're focused on. There are other people that will be a better help for you. So I just want to say that up front. The second thing is you have to have sold your program or service. So we're mostly focused on what we call signature programs or transformational programs. So they're not inexpensive. And if you're launching a new program, like if that's your thing, you're putting something out, maybe it's a new offer, you want to sell your first 25K or 50K offer. And those are big numbers. So the impact on the other end is huge. That's the only way that you're able to sell that kind of program or service, is when you're making a big impact in someone's business or in their life. If that's you and you're selling it for the first time, this also is not the right discussion for you yet. Not the SalesMAP conversation. If you're interested in that, I have some other resources. It's a topic for another day. I'm happy to connect with you if that is what you're trying to do. Sell a program for the first time, launch a new program, test that market. Again, conversation for a different day. It's not what we're talking about right now. The other thing is we are talking about high-end, or some people call this high ticket, but not inexpensive programs for a couple of reasons. One, if you're bringing on a sales team and they're going to be paid out of the commissions, that's usually the sales partners that we work with are very focused on the commission-oriented program. So they want to make money. They want to win with you on commissions. The way it's normally structured, they're not 100% commission-based. And there's a number of reasons why, but we help our folks create a custom compensation plan. So it might be a draw, it might be a base. There's different ways to structure this. But if you're looking for someone to come on a fully commission only basis with no support, basically you're not investing anything in them in return. That's going to be a hard sell, because folks, listen, we do that in our boot camp when we're training people, but we're putting a lot of investment into them to bring them up to speed. They're walking away with a whole new skill set that when they finish and graduate from our boot camps, they have a whole new skill set and ability to go out and get deals, bring deals to the table. That's part of what we're doing. But if you're going to bring someone onto your team and you expect them to invest that level and you're not willing to invest in them, that's just not going to be a profitable relationship, right? That's an affiliate kind of or a referral kind of program. It's a different model. It can work in certain circumstances, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a dedicated sales partner or sales team. So we talked about the program has to have sold. We talked about that it is a high-end or a high-ticket program. By the way, there's not a specific number, but just as a rule of thumb, I'm talking like $5,000 and up. Some of our clients have, 30, 40, 50K programs or services that they're delivering for their clients. Again, when you look at the ROI, the return of their investment, the impact that they're making with their services, those folks are happy to buy those programs because they might invest 50, but they're going to bring back, 250K, 500K over the course of a year because of the strategic work that they're doing. It's high level, highly leveraged work that they're doing with folks. And the reason why this plays into the sales atmosphere is you also have to be able to pay, again, in the form of these commissions or bonuses for enrolled clients. The sales partners want to win on that too. So the number has to be big enough that it's exciting to do the work, that they're committed to do the work, that they're going to see a big upside of bringing those folks, because this is high touch, low volume. We're not talking about selling 10 or 20 people a day on a $100 widget. We're talking about, Maybe you only need one new client a month. Maybe you only need 2 or 3 new clients a month, but at 15, 25, 30K, it's moving the needle significantly. You can become a 7-figure business this way by making a big impact on a small number of people. And your sales partners will grow in that atmosphere as well because they're getting paid. And again, the percentages will vary, but they may be getting paid $500, $1,000, $1,500, $2,500 on some of these enrollments, depending on what the other numbers would be. And then lastly, I'm talking about the pre-qualifiers now. We've not even gotten to the 2 secret sauces. I'll show those to you in just a moment. But the last pre-qualifier that we're trying to figure out with folks, this is why we're having conversations with them before we ever talk about what SalesMAP is, what we do, how we do it, how much it costs, why we do it the way that we do it, why it's different from other options in the marketplace. We need to know folks have codified or are in the process of codifying their sales and marketing. Where do your leads come from and how do you get them on a consistent basis? Now, I say that the ability to go out and create conversations with exactly the perfect prospects you should be talking to, that ability to go and get deals and bring them back to the table, that's part of what we do in our outbound process. We work with outbound salespeople. We also work with what they call inbound closers. So openers and closers of that sales conversation. That's part of what we do. But you've got to have a process, whether it's our process or your own. Maybe you're doing paid traffic to get lead gen. You have to have a plan to get those consistently, because it doesn't make sense to hire a sales partner or bring a sales partner onto your team and then they sit there idle because there's not enough leads to work with. There has to be a plan in place. And, if they're going to make their income from commission, and our folks, they want to make, $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 or more per month in their own income, generating business with and for you, they've got to have that opportunity. So we need to know that the lead gen. So pre-qualifiers, the offer's already sold. You've sold it yourself. You've validated that. It's a high-end, high-ticket program or service. So there's margin in there for others to win with you as you sell more of those. And you've codified what I'm just going to call the lead getting process, the lead flow. There's lead flow in place or a plan to get that. And that's either part of what your team, your sales partner will be doing with you or not, but there is a plan and we've codified that process. So we know that's going to be in place. So let me screen share for a second. So let's talk about those 2 secret sauces. I frame this as these are the 2 things that no one's talking about. I'm not really sure why, but this is what's setting apart our process at SalesMAP. One of the things, 2 of the things that we do at SalesMAP. I think having 4 partners in SalesMAP would be another secret sauce too. But again, that's a conversation for another day. So this is what I want to show you. So these are the 2 things, right? The first one is team edification, the team aspect of going into sales. And the reason why I say that is because how you work as a team, how you coordinate the outreach, the booking of clients, the sharing of information, I'm going to call it indoctrination, but really bringing people up to speed so that they see how your view of the world and how they're able to win in that environment. That whole process and the exchange from one person to the other so that they understand why they're talking to you and then they're talking to a member of your team, how you introduce your team members, and probably even more important, how your team members introduce you. Because there are things when you have a sales partner or a sales team, there are things that they can say about you that you can never say about yourself. I do this every single day when I'm bragging about my partners because they each bring something unique to the table that, I can't, that they have this whole background. Like, for example, Janet is able to have these, stand in the fire is the phrase that we use. She's able to have the conversations where she stands in the fire. And she's been doing this for years, by the way. When she was selling, Ryan Levesque's Ask program, or when she sold Alex Mendozian's program and helping people actually make a decision, make a 6-figure buying decision. So selling $100,000 program, which Alex himself said, nobody's going to sell this except for me because my name's on it. They have to fully believe in me. I'm the only one who can sell this program. Janet went out and sold that program. because she's helping people make, that's a big emotional decision when you're deciding, I want to take my business to here. It's here now and I want to be here, and what's going to get me there. And she's able to help people make that kind of 6-figure investment. That is a huge area of strength. That's something that I haven't done that Janet brings to the table. She doesn't tell that story, but I can tell that story about what she's done because it's pretty damn impressive. With Caitlin, she's actually just the last couple weeks, she is pretty much, I'm going to say, single-handed. She's had a little bit of help from others, but mostly she's carried the heavy weight of running 3 different boot camps with our clients, where they're placing not just one, not just 2, but several inbound, what we call closing or sales positions with clients. And literally our clients, one of our big clients will be sharing this in an upcoming, use case, what do I want to say, case study. We'll be sharing this, but one of the clients said the other day, boy, you've made this really easy on me. You made it look really easy. Now I've seen behind the scenes and I see how much work she's been doing, and it's not easy. And she's not bragging about it. She's not complaining about it, but I'll tell you, this is, again, one of the things that I, as a team member, can say about what the work that she's doing and her ability to do a custom recruitment boot camp where we're actually bringing in candidates that are a perfect fit for these selling opportunities within a specific community, and working with a thought leader who needs to have brand aligned salespeople. They're not just going to take anyone. Or I could brag again about Michael, Michael is like the silent, the partner in SalesMAP that most people don't hear from, because he's constantly working on helping us grow SalesMAP, while the other 3 of us are focused on helping our clients grow, right? So in each case, I've shared with you examples of what my partners are doing, things that I admire about them. And again, things that would be pretty darn hard for them to brag or say about themselves. This is the team edification process. And what we do in SalesMAP, it's become a really important part, is build a structure for having these conversations. Again, because when you do it right, your team is providing a better experience for your buyers. You're facilitating the buying experience. It's less about selling and more about helping people buy what they want and need and what they want to buy. They'll tell you what they want to buy, and we structure it that way, and the team supports them in doing that. So we call that team edification. The second thing is, and we've come up with a funny, fancy term for this internally at Book of Experts and SalesMAP, and we call it the preeminent conversational device. It's a 25-cent word. It really means something worth talking about. Most people are doing this when they're trying to create something worth talking about. They're doing it with lead magnets, right? What is the thing that you put in front of someone to engage with them, to get into a conversation so they'll want to know more? The problem with lead magnets are that they're all about you. We create them. I've done it. You've done this as well. Thought leaders are doing it all the time because they're taking, heck, this video that we're doing right now is a form of a lead magnet, right? You're creating something worth talking about. But specifically, what I'm sharing is these 2 secret sauces. I actually did a internal training for our clients last week, the week before last. It was supposed to be a 2-hour training. We ended up going another 45 minutes past that, talking specifically about the 13 different kinds of preeminent conversational devices. We broke down why we use that term, why we're not using a different term for it. There's a specific reason why we framed it that way, because the way most people are trying to do this isn't working for them. It's not leveraged, and it's actually not producing the results that they're ultimately looking for. So again, these are the 2 secret sauces that we talk a lot about with SalesMAP. We talk about it with our clients because they are selling these high-end programs or services. They've already sold it. They've already sort of reached a level of the business themselves, but now they're stuck in that place where, they have become the bottleneck in their business. A lot of people think that their first hire is going to be on the operation side. I'm going to hire a coach. I'm going to hire someone who's going to help me get more of this work done. What they don't realize is it's the sales and marketing where the revenue is being generated is where they want to focus their support first. That's why we talk about in SalesMAP, bringing on a sales partner that can bring more deals to the table. Even if you're having that final sales the what we call the closing conversation, the sales conversation when someone actually enrolls with you. Maybe you need to be the person. You've got to make sure they're a great fit for your program. You want to vet them every bit as much as they're vetting you in the buying decision. We understand that. We totally get it. So some of our sales partners are really just opening conversations and bringing qualified, what we call perfect prospects to the table. That's their whole focus, right? The sales background, the sales skill set that they're bringing to the table is actually that ability, that nose for being able to say, there's an opportunity here. No offense to my VA friends out there, but this is why VAs are not the best fit for this kind of role. Because VAs, one thing that we love about them is they're very process oriented. So they're not going to drop the ball. They're going to make the trains run on time. They're going to, follow the step 1, step 2, step 3. They'll go through the process. But what they may not see, and this is where the sales folks bring a different angle to the table, is the ability to see around the corner and see what the opportunity is. Now, not everyone is going to have the final closing sales conversation. Those are our inbound roles, and we place folks, people who have a lead flow and need that. I told you we've been running those boot camps as well. So I don't know if this is of interest to you. I was doing a little bit of the work anyways. Again, I'll show this one more time. This is my example of 2 things that we talk about in SalesMAP. I call them secret sauces because honestly, it is the difference maker in what we do in being able to get better results for our clients from just going out and trying to hire someone and, having a bad experience with that because you don't have a process in place. You didn't use the right process to get the right candidates, put the right butts in the seats. Like there's a lot of different ways this goes wrong. When we talk about process, 2 of the things that we really are focusing in on are the team edification, how we build a process, how we engineer that. And secondly, having that something worth talking about, or what we call the preeminent conversational device. I hope this was helpful. I just wanted to share. Again, I'm trying to make an effort to document a little bit more about what I'm doing behind the scenes. I was doing this work anyways, one for a client, one for some writing that I'm doing for the book. Keep an eye out for that. It's called Experts Never Chase, and it'll be published before the end of the year. I'm actually in one of my drafts right now. My August draft is coming together. There's a September and October draft that will be done, and then we'll be publishing before the end of 2020.